What else is in the news? I got one for you. How about the Oscars? Oscars have their diversity news now, right? Their diversity criteria. They're gonna be box checking for the best picture. I hate box checking. I can't stand it. It's not what they say it is, right? Like, okay, so for example, here we go. We had Oscar So White, right? There's not enough diversity in the movies. Oscar So White. So now this is kind of like an answer. 5 years later, this is like an answer. We have to check boxes so that we can make sure we have diversity. So what do? We make an underrepresented category, right? Nothing to do now specifically with white people and non-white people, or specifically black people. Now we just have an underrepresented category. So that's women, that's people of color, that's disabled people, that's LGBT people. It's a whole plethora. Okay, I'm gonna let you know a little secret. This is how bigotry works, right? It's intersectionality, right? Okay, so we need to get this underrepresented category represented. Okay, so white women are underrepresented, and white disabled people are underrepresented, and white LGBT people are underrepresented. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see how it works? Your check boxes doesn't get you anywhere. Also, I'd like to point out, it's not just the best picture that is Hollywood, right? So just best picture, you have to have the criteria. The vast majority of movies which will never ever be considered for best picture can continue to do the same discriminatory nonsense they were doing before then, right? They can continue to hire who they want, have their friends, have no diversity. It doesn't matter. It's all about money, and they'll recycle the money through the people that they want because it's all arbitrary. Because this is not where we should be looking for a moral compass in Hollywood. See first part of the video, right? Okay. Yeah, I guess, you know what? I want to close out on a box checking story. And it's a story about Hal Johnson. You probably know Hal Johnson. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Bit of a Canadian celebrity, Canadian treasure in my mind. Hal Johnson was a fitness personality, health and fitness. He did a thing called Body Break when I was growing up. He was a media personality. I found out some things about his sort of early career that really bothered me this year. I didn't know these things before this year, but I'm gonna talk to you guys about it because look, Canada's a progressive country. I'm not saying we're not, but again, box checking, not as progressive as people might think, right? So here's what happened. Hal Johnson, when he started out I think it was in the 80s, he applied for a job with TSN and he got the job. He got called back a few hours later and they said, sorry, we can't offer you the job. We already have a black guy reporting the news. So again, that policy wasn't just it didn't come out of nowhere. It was supposed to be progressive, right? There was somebody who was like, hey, the best way to get the diversity and the progressive thing that we need, best way to do that is to just make sure we check boxes so that we can make sure that we have the outcome that we want and everything looks the way we expect it to look, and then it's all just fine. It'll be fine, right? But the outcome that they were looking for was one black guy. So when another black guy applied and was the best guy for the job, did they stop being racist? No, they're still racist. They don't want to overwhelm the country with two black guys reporting the news, reporting the sports. What? But again, this is the progressive policy. Let's do this so we can make sure we're diverse. No, we want to look diverse, right? These people have an outcome that they want. And while they're putting forward policy, you're like, yeah, we want to get to that outcome and it sounds great. Okay, the road to that outcome, they don't care how crappy it is. And the people's lives along that road, they're just as crappy as the people's lives along the road to the other outcome, right? Because that's all they're looking for is what's the outcome? And the outcome, they have a very specific vision and it may not be the same as yours, all right? Now, that would be offensive enough as a Canadian to know that this is how sort of TV executives were looking at stuff at the time. Like, we don't want to overwhelm Canada. Canada's not ready. The hell do you know what Canada's ready for? Which brings me to my next story. Actually, the Body Break show. I don't know if you guys know, but it was him and his wife, Hal Johnson, Joanne McLeod. They would go out there doing activities and living an active lifestyle. And I'll be honest, as a kid, I just thought really, adults exercise? Like, my parents don't exercise. That's what I thought they were trying to press. Like, grown-ups should be more fit. right? Keep fit, have fun, be healthy, and all that stuff. I didn't realize that it was actually like it was being done to combat racism. And when he pitched the show, the TV executives actually asked him, yeah, could you maybe cast someone else as the husband? Because Canada's not ready to see a black man and a white woman married. Now, again, as a kid, I thought the strange image was adults exercising. That was weird to me. But apparently people in the TV industry were like, no, you know what? Canada isn't ready to see you and your wife. Now think about this. This is your wife. And they're telling you, yeah, but we got to cast someone else because the world's not ready for this. Now, the world was ready for this, but this is my point. The people in charge make decisions based on what they think the world is ready for. And all they're really looking for is some kind of outcome that they can sell. And then be like, look how wonderful the outcome is. I don't know. Look, I'll end it on this. When people ask you to check boxes, right? You think, hey, this means they're going to recognize my identity. It means they respect who I am. No, it means they think you fit in a box and they're not your friend. Anyway, I know it's been a really heavy Sunday morning. I'm sorry for that, but we do have the NFL football to look forward to. I'm going to go make myself some fried egg sandwiches and have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.